Alright, let's dive into this, because when I first heard about Nirmal Purja's tragic death, it hit me hard. Not just because he was a legendary mountaineer, but because his story represents something much bigger. Here's the deal: Nirmal Purja, or Nims as he was known, was one of the most fearless climbers of our time. He's the guy who summited the world's 14 tallest peaks in just 7 months, a feat that's basically the mountaineering equivalent of running a marathon every day for half a year. And now he's gone, along with 9 others, in an avalanche on Broad Peak in Pakistan. Personally, I think this story isn't just about a tragic accident. It's about the fine line between ambition and risk, and how even the greatest among us aren't immune to nature's unpredictability. What makes this really interesting is the way Nims approached climbing. He wasn't just a climber, he was a disruptor. In the Netflix documentary 14 Peaks, Nothing is Impossible, you see him challenging the traditional mountaineering mindset. He didn't wait for perfect conditions or rely on massive support teams. Instead, he pushed boundaries, often climbing without supplemental oxygen. From my perspective, this wasn't just about breaking records, it was about redefining what's possible. But here's the thing: that kind of boldness comes with a cost. When you're constantly pushing limits, the margin for error shrinks. And in the mountains, one mistake can be fatal. One thing that immediately stands out is the global reaction to his death. People from all over the world are mourning, and it's not just climbers. British Defence Minister Wes Streeting called him an inspirational man, and that's exactly what he was. Nims wasn't just a mountaineer. He was a symbol of resilience, having served in the British Army and Special Forces. What many people don't realize is that his military background shaped his approach to climbing. He brought discipline, strategy, and a no-nonsense attitude to the mountains. But here's the irony: even someone as prepared and experienced as Nims couldn't outsmart an avalanche. If you take a step back and think about it, this tragedy reminds us that no amount of skill or experience can fully protect you from nature's whims. Now, let's talk about the avalanche itself. Broad Peak, the 12th tallest mountain in the world, is no walk in the park. It's part of the Karakoram Range, known for its unpredictable weather and treacherous conditions. The fact that 10 climbers, including Nims, were caught in an avalanche there isn't surprising, but it's devastating. A detail I find fascinating is how quickly things can go wrong in the mountains. One minute you're ascending, the next you're fighting for your life. This raises a deeper question: how much risk is too much? Nims himself said, "The line between success and failure is so thin." And in this case, that line became a matter of life and death. What this really suggests is that mountaineering isn't just a sport, it's a metaphor for life. It's about chasing dreams, pushing limits, and accepting that sometimes, the outcome isn't in your control. Nims' legacy isn't just about the peaks he conquered, it's about the mindset he embodied. He believed that nothing is impossible, and he proved it time and again. But his death also forces us to confront the darker side of that philosophy. When does ambition become recklessness? And how do we honor the memory of someone like Nims without romanticizing the risks he took? In my opinion, the best way to honor him is to learn from his story. Nims wasn't just a climber. He was a reminder that greatness often comes with sacrifice. He challenged us to dream bigger, but also to respect the limits of our world. So, as we mourn his loss, let's also celebrate his spirit. Because, at the end of the day, that's what he'd want us to do. Keep pushing, keep dreaming, but always remember, the mountains don't care about records or fame. They demand respect. And sometimes, even the greatest among us pay the ultimate price for that lesson. What do you think? Is it worth it to push the limits like Nims did, or is there a point where we should draw the line? Let me know in the comments below.